prior to camp, Allison applied to be an intern this summer, and in the spring, you got some nasty news. Tell us just a little bit about that.
A little bit of a rocky year in terms of like losing sight of the Lord, and then roughly in April, I decided to like rededicate my life. Applied for the internship, was accepted by then, and then I came home for Easter and just felt like a bump and was kind of nervous about it. And then on my dad's birthday, I was told I had a tumor in my right breast. At first, they were like, "Oh, it's gonna be okay. Like it's just a small tumor." During the internship, it just kept growing. But it was really scary because it wasn't painful, and I almost was like praying for pain because that meant like it wasn't going to be dangerous, because like that's why a lot of times like cancer can like keep growing because people don't realize it's even in their body, whereas like a cyst, it would hurt, and it was a 3.1, and so it was like rapidly growing, which was kind of crazy because we had just found it and like that wasn't normal at all.
What week was it when you went and actually had surgery?
That was pretty rough because I was trying to lead with the Lord. And like to get that news, it was like Satan's real. And there were times where it was like, go home, like just be sad and cry about it. But the Lord was like, keep going to TOV and keep working through these kids and like pushing them. And so then during KOB West, I had my surgery.
Talk about that morning.
Whew, that was a rough morning. My mom is a crier, like just over like anything, like a plant could die and she would start crying. And so, like, I woke up, like, to my mom crying, like, over me, which, like, is kind of humorous, but it's also kind of, like, a god-awful way to wake up. And so, my dad comes in my room, and my dad's my best friend, and so is my mom, but definitely a daddy's girl, and my dad was like, like, the Lord's going to be with you today, like, I'm not worried about my girl, and all this stuff, like, give me a pep talk, like, while I'm, like, crying in my room, too. And then I was talking to Harry yesterday, like, it generally felt like I was going to, like, die in that surgery. Like, I know it sounds over-dramatic, but, like, people were, like, I feel like people were saying their goodbyes to me, and I mean, it was wild. Like, I'm 19 years old, and this is really cool. This is totally God. Turn around, and like, there's Harry, like half the interns, and like a ton of adults that like I super look up to. Like Becky Paul was there. I mean, you see that like on a morning, like you're going in to get a tumor removed, and that's God. Praying in front of a hospital. You would think that that'd be a normal thing. Like you're like a hospital, like you would want God like in a place like that. I mean, you would want God everywhere, but you feel what I'm saying. And so then, to me, like while that was a light in my life of the Lord works like crazy miracles, even in the slightest ways, like just praying before my surgery. But then like to those nurses too, like just like the impact of them seeing prayer before surgery too. And then we got into the hospital room. All these people were texting me, like, it's going to be okay. And, like, when you're like, yeah, like, I know it's going to be okay, but then people keep telling you it's going to be okay, and you're like, well, what if it's not going to be okay then? Like, so it's kind of like counteractive. Like, I appreciate everyone doing that, but I'm just a hard person to love in that way. Right before I went in, the nurse was like, remember, like, everyone prayed for you. Like, you have nothing to worry about. My dog, like, that was so great, like, to hear that right before I went in. It was tough because my sister's my best friend, too, and she wasn't there, and my dad wasn't there because he couldn't get off work. And so to have, like, these people, my second family, like, fill in where my own family, like, wasn't able to be there, I genuinely don't have words for it. Like, when God leaves me speechless, like I like it that way. Like, I like that I can't put into words right now, like, what that did for me on that morning, because, like, my words don't bring, like, God's power, justice. And so that whole week, it was just like, what if it's there? And like, I'm powerless. Like, I have a whole week where I have to sit here and like let this keep growing inside of my body. But then, super cool. I went to my doctor's appointment. She like took a deep breath, and I was like, it's coming. It's for sure coming. That like it grew back. And then I was like thinking like, what college am I gonna go to? Like, what friends am I gonna have here? And like all this stuff. And then she was like, it's gone. And I was like, no way. And then, my mom's crying. And then she was like, it's like completely gone. Like, we removed all of it, and like there's absolutely like no signs of like cancer in your body anywhere. And so, nothing quite like a hug from Harry after that moment.
I asked her, I said, so what are they telling you? They said, come see us when you're 40.